Beyond the Fairway podcast, Dougie Fresh right here, Will Lowery. You know this is your home for all things swag and golf. We go beyond the scores and highlights to give you that different side. That beyond the fairwayness that you crave. Well, I crave it. I don't always want scores and highlights, Will. Sometimes I just want to hear some combo. This week, we got Kira K. Dixon coming in here, former Miss America. You know her. You see her every week on Golf Channel, interviewing those folks. She's coming in here, Will, but you know what? We out of the weekend, Will, so what's cracking with you, homie?
Man, I'm glad we can start to have a conversation between you and I, bro. Because, there's some stuff that happened this past week. First and foremost, I want to say I'm proud of you. I don't know if
what are you talking about?
Because your backdoor top 10 finish in the APGA Pro Golf Tour was pretty impressive. Because I know you don't practice too much.
Backdoor? How you backdoor top 10? But I appreciate that.
Because you're tied for 7th. Anything past 7 or 5 is backdoor.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay.
Yeah, kudos to you, bro. How did it feel? Real quick before we move on, how did it feel that the players saw a damn podcast host beat them?
Hey, look, man. I had an advantage. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a golf course that I play.
Right.
I call it TPC Doug Smith. I'm kidding. TPC Scottsdale champion course. Don't
be neutral, Doug. Don't be neutral.
No, I'm going to just say this. Look. Here's the thing about golf, in my opinion. And this is for the people out there that play and want to play tournaments. This is just me. I feel like I've finally realized what I can't do in golf, right? You ever been in the trees and you got a window and you like, you know what? I can hit this 7-iron through that 2 foot by 1 foot window up in that tree. Let me go ahead and hit this shot. I can't do that. I know I can't do it. All I know is if I got the same shot nowadays, I'm going to chip out 30 yards to the left, get myself back in position, and just make a bogey. It used to be like, you play tournament golf, you take them chances, just give me the bogey. Give me to a par 5, give me a chance.
Smith?
Right, this is the baby daddy right here. You know what I'm saying?
Does Doug Smith know that he has gotten away with Doug Smith? Doug Smith is gone? Oh wow, nice. I love it.
That's fair, but no, it was fun being back in the ropes, and I appreciate the APGA coming out to the desert, giving us an opportunity to play for a check, and I appreciate getting one. But look, Mullet Brothers, Mark Leishman, Cam Smith over the weekend, PGA Tour action down at TPC Louisiana in the Zurich Classic. Hey man, I'm a little upset about it. We had the Bam Bam brothers, Splash brothers, whatever you want to call Tony and Cam. I was a little disappointed at how they finished it, but hey, big shots out and congrats to the Mullet brothers for holding it down.
You know what though? I wonder. Because Cam, this is the second time Cam Smith has won this tournament, right? He won in 2017 with Jonas Blix. So I wonder, from here on out, will people start this, maybe put some sticky notes in the Cam locker, like, hey, will you be my partner next year? Because this guy has figured it out,
Yeah.
And so kudos to him. How disappointed? I know you just kind of mentioned it, but I want to know in depth, how disappointed are you into Tony Finau and Cameron Champ finishing the way they did? Don't be neutral. Don't be neutral.
No, I'm not going to be neutral. Oh, you always call me neutral, man.
Because look, you be throwing me on the bus sometimes with your neutrality.
I ain't throwing you on the bus, man. Your hairline's still leaving, though, but I'm not throwing you under the bus. Look, all I'm saying is this. When we look at the Bryson DeChambeau-isms in the world right now, Bryson has proven that distance is king. You know what I'm saying? Like, distance is king.
They both
and so you got two of the longest hitters on the PGA Tour teaming up together. No one should have been able to compete. They shouldn't have been able to compete. But at the end of the day, we all have to do one thing to win golf tournaments, and that's roll the ball. You got to putt it. You got to roll it. And that's not what they did this week. So, hey, I wanted to see Schwartzel and Oosthuizen get that W, man. I like Schwartzel's swing. Two of the silkiest golf swings on the PGA Tour teaming up, man. It was nice to see them coming down on Sunday.
Yeah, they had a good finish, and back in 2018 finished tied for third as well. So
who are you, Brandel Chambly, with all these stats in 2015, 16, 17?
Yes,
so did X, Y, and Z.
I'm working on my black though Chambly, dog. Let me
Black Chambly. Okay,
yeah,
all right.
Let me do it.
Will Chambly. I get it. All right,
there you go.
Brandel, we can get you in here too while we talking about it. Hey, Brooke Henderson gets the hardware though. LPGA Tour this week. Will LA Open for her there at Wilshire Country Club. She went out there and got it. I like Brooke Henderson, man. I feel like this year on the LPGA Tour, we're seeing all like champions win. You know, we've got Lydia Ko, we've got the Korda sisters, we've got Tava Tanikit in there. It's like, well, she's new, but Brooke Henderson back in the winner's circle, always a positive thing to see.
Bro, what's your thoughts on the LPGA have this, I guess, awkward finish? Like, awkward. I saw Wednesday to Saturday. Like, what's your thoughts on that?
You know what? At first, I was confused about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why the hell?
I kind of like it, though.
Yeah, you know, I think that's the conclusion I'm drawing to. I had a chance to chop with Cheyenne Woods yesterday about this very topic, and Cheyenne was telling me, like, it helps with the travel schedule, especially as they're getting ready to go overseas to Singapore and Tokyo to play in a couple of events, they being the LPGA Tour. The women are taking front and center, though, on Saturday. I like seeing the posts. I like being able to see the conclusion on a Saturday. I think it raises the sights of the LPGA Tour, just like we kind of talked about with Kira with the LPGA hoodie in our episode coming up. And, you know, I think that's good for women's golf.
And I got to say, when I saw competitive golf on Wednesday, I thought that was pretty dope. Like, I thought it was pretty dope. You know, it was front and center. It was main stage. And I was captivated. It kept my attention. So hopefully,
a little bit of that might be the West Coast, right? Because they were playing in Hawaii when they did the first one. Then they jumped over and they played a regular event in the A&A Inspiration. Then they go back and then they play the last two events there on the West Coast. So might be some time slot stuff. I'm not sure, but I tell you what, I think it's good for the viewership. I was watching the tour the last three LPGA events. I've been like this. Especially with my girl Lydia Ko getting that championship last week. So
absolutely.
Will, but before we get into our interview, we gotta talk about something quick because we're gonna do a longer form at the end. But this PIP, you know, it used to be picture in picture. I'm gonna tell you what I'm talking about. The Player Impact Program put on by the PGA Tour. $40 million is going to some players for growing their digital footprint. But look, we're gonna talk about that here in a minute. But right now, Will, it's time to go beyond the fairway with Kira K. Dixon. Beyond the Fairway podcast, Dougie Fresco here with Will. You already know he's here too. Welcome in our special guest, Kira K. Dixon, Golf Channel's very own. What's going on, Kira?
Hi, nothing's going on. Excited to be with you guys. Thanks for having me.
I know you've been mobile today, so I'm glad we got to take this little segment of time out of your day because you have been a star for Golf Channel in the last week. Talk a little bit about your new role with NBC and Golf Channel and kind of how it came to be.
Yeah, so I've got a new role this year. I'm a reporter for Golf Central and Golf Today, and I get to do some in-broadcast post-round interviews depending on who carries the broadcast week to week, which is great as well. I've kind of done some random freelance gigs with Golf Channel over the years. I've hosted a travel show. I've done stuff for what was Morning Drive before, which is no longer, and some other random things. And I've kind of worked towards this for a while. So it's nice to finally get to do this and kind of see some dreams realized. So I just came back from the RBC Heritage, was my last gig. Shout out Stuart Sink for the win, and it was a lot of fun. So yeah, it's been great, and you can see me on Golf Today, Golf Central, and sometimes
and Beyond the Fairway, of course.
Yeah, and Beyond the Fairway. So really, all of my dreams are realized.
So, like, in the overall scope of work, Doug, I'm gonna work on my soles today. Watch.
Go. No all right, soles. You're gonna work on this. You know, Will likes to transition with soap. Go ahead.
So, okay, last soul for the whole Beyond the Fairway.
Okay.
In your overall scope of work, is this what you wanted? You know, I know we all wanted Miss America. Well, I didn't. Doug may have wanted Miss America at one
I did for a little bit.
But did you want to do, like, somehow be involved with the Golf Channel?
If you had asked me that question 5 years ago, I would have been like, what's Golf Channel? Because I don't think I grew up wanting to be a reporter for the Golf Channel. I thought I wanted to go to law school. I then thought I wanted to be an entertainment news reporter. I wanted to go to business school at one point. So lots of things have changed. But over the past, I guess, 2 to 3 years, when I figured out what I thought my path should be, what I wanted to do, this has been that dream. And I think that's okay. It's okay for our dreams to evolve and change. And yeah, so it's cool to now actually see this happening. And I get to do what I love every single day. So I think you guys can probably relate to that.
A little bit. I just know that I was a little jealous though, because you were the course or the host or are for the Golf Advisor Living. Tell us a little bit about just traveling and kind of getting your Matt Gianella on, because I feel like everybody in golf, that's what we want to do. We want to travel to this spot, that spot, check out the restaurants. That was dope though. So how was that experience?
I only got to do 2 or 3 episodes before COVID hit. We had so much stuff planned, and then COVID, we were going to Ireland. I think we were talking about Thailand at one point, and all of that kind of just went down the drain. But so that ended, and then COVID happened, and I'm actually in grad school right now. I'm getting my master's at USC, so that kind of filled my time while I was waiting to figure out, and I'm still in school. I'm going to graduate in a month and a half. I was still trying to figure out what I was going to do with myself. Post Golf Advisors opportunities kind of going away, and then the reporter gig came up earlier this year. So I think things kind of happened for a reason, but that show was so much fun. I think, I didn't have to try too hard to enjoy traveling and eating at nice restaurants and having nice beverages. So it was a great experience, and it kind of got me in the door to the greater Golf Channel space.
I'm kind of mad you didn't hit me up when you were here in Arizona, though. I will say that. I'm just upset. But it's okay.
They have a tight schedule. All right. Every minute is money. So they had me going from place to place.
And Doug, you ain't worth messing with her money. So there go number 2. All right. Where we are, Doug and I are rocking our, Bogey Boys hoodie. And
which I love.
I appreciate it.
Shout out to Macklemore.
We heard that you had one as well, but I want to kind of, I kind of want to expound upon the hoodie that you have, which I feel like is a hot commodity. How do I get one? The LPGA hoodie. I saw Damian Lee, who played for the Warriors, the forward for the Warriors. He had one on, so it was kind of moving around the Instagram space. So how do I get one? Can you tell me where I have to go?
Yes. Swipe up. No, just kidding.
Look at you.
Actually, I do have the link in my bio. I can just also send you the link, or please. Michelle Wee's Instagram account, or like a lot of
free
other
link.
people.
Hopefully, the free link.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll get you the cool kids link for sure. But the money does go to charity. It goes to the Renee Powell Fund and the Clearview Legacy Foundation.
Absolutely. Yes.
I might have to fact check that. But it's all about growing the game, making the game more accessible for people that traditionally are not able to access golf, and to raise the brand of the LPGA and get these players the attention they deserve. So it's been really cool to see someone like Damian Lee wear the LPGA hoodie and bring it so much. I mean, I think they sold out in like 3 hours, which is crazy. So, and they've done several restocks, and they've sold out every single time. So get them while they're hot. Actually, yesterday I was driving and stopped at In-N-Out. Sorry, stopped at In-N-Out. And I was wearing this hoodie because I've been living in it. And some guy came up to me and he was like, "Excuse me, are you Kira Dixon?" And I was like, oh, "Yes. I am Kira Dixon." And he goes, "Well, I recognize the hoodie and I've been seeing it around." And this is like a random person in and out. So definitely making the rounds.
You just mentioned about, bringing more attention to the LPGA. What can men's golf do to bring more attention, or how can we convert more fans into watching the LPGA Tour?
That's the $1 million question, $1 billion question. I'm actually writing my thesis about this for USC. So I've been spending a lot of time doing research about this. But first of all, in terms of what the men can do, like you see someone like Kobe wearing the orange sweater for the WNBA, and it's such a simple gesture, or any professional athlete that's able to bring in their audience to give them exposure to something like the LPGA matters so much. So it's like you see Justin Thomas is posting it, and a couple other players are posting it, and there are millions and millions of followers. Or now maybe they're not traditional LPGA fans, but maybe they might be, or when they're scrolling through and they see that golf is on, female golf is on, they'll stop and watch, which I think is really important. But I mean, I would love to see more mixed gender events. I would love to see Lydia Ko and Jordan Spieth, who are making these incredible comebacks, play together in an event and you know, have versus like Michelle and Justin Thomas, and how fun that would be, and just getting them more on a level playing field. And this is something that the USGA cares about a lot, is like actual, like physically leveling the playing field in terms of who they play the same venues, the same historical places, you know, where they play matters. Golf course history and tradition matters. So honoring these incredible athletes with the ability to get to just play these really great golf courses, I think is really important for their tours, and also just treating them equally in terms of like the amenities they get, the food that they get on tour, how they're treated. They're so used to sometimes not getting the same types of things that come with being a professional athlete that maybe the male side of the game does, that just is really, really difficult. And like the support that they want, you know, I think that the LPGA Tour does so many wonderful things, but there's always more that can be done to make sure that these players have the best and the best services available to them as well. So there's lots to be done. I don't know how much time we have to go into all of that, but yeah, I'm excited for Michelle and what she's been able to do, Michelle Wee West, what she's been able to do with something as simple as a hoodie.
You know, it's funny. I was talking to Christy Kerr a couple months ago, pre-COVID, right? We have to predate things. Pre-COVID,
yeah.
Christy and I had a conversation, and if you compare her resume, and this was then, so things could have changed now, but if you compared her resume, she would basically be the equivalent of Dustin Johnson on the men's side and the women's side. And if you compare their earnings, there was about a $40 million gap. $40 million disparity in earnings. So, you know, I know it's a small gesture with the hoodie, Kira, but I think that the impact can be big. We see NBA stars wearing the hoodie, you know, Michelle Wee West, you know, holding it down for the LPGA. It's an exciting time for sure, but I do want to talk about an exciting time that's coming up this weekend. It is the Run for the Roses.
Yes.
My state's major, if you call that. So shouts out to the Kentucky Derby. Kira, we got to go back to 2016, I believe. You and I got the
15.
Was it 15? Wow, that makes me feel even older. So 2015, you had some hardware on back then. You know, I did meet you as Miss America. Talk to us a little bit about the Derby. I know you've been to a couple, but what is it about the Kentucky Derby that makes you want to go every year?
Oh my gosh, I remember when they told me that I was going to get to go to the Derby. I was like, oh my God, are you sure? It was so like. I just think of it as this like storybook thing. I had built it up in my mind as like only the coolest people in the world get to go to the Kentucky Derby. So, and not only did I get to go, but I got to like sit in this specific section, or you probably know the names of all those like special seating. That.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I got to like sit up there, and I got to go down and like actually see the horses. I got to do a lot in the community, go to all these parties for like the Oaks and the you know, the galas ahead of time. I mean, it was just like, who am I? There's so many moments throughout that year where I look back and think like, well, I just don't understand how I did any of this stuff or why anybody let me in, but thank you. And it was an amazing experience, and I made so many great friends, obviously, and just so I look back at that, and you know, obviously it's 2 minutes, it's the most exciting 2 minutes in sports, and it's over, but everything around it is what people go for. So if you ever get a chance to go to the Derby, you know, run, don't walk.
It's the pageantry. It's the game.
I love a pageant. Parties. Obviously, life is a pageant. So I'm all for it.
So speaking on the hardware, do you feel that there is a sense of greater responsibility being attached to the game of golf while being Miss America?
Yeah, I don't know if necessarily in being in the game of golf, but just in life in general. Like my core demographic on social media is guys that play golf and like 12-year-old girls that like Miss America. So I definitely feel a sort of, you know, I don't know that I'm a role model, but like, you know, people look and see at what I do, how I speak, how I carry myself. And I try to do things in a responsible way in terms of like photo editing or how I talk about my skin or what I wear, or, you know, like giving like a realistic look into life, because I think so much of what we see on TV, especially for young girls, is so edited and so problematic. I can't imagine being a young woman in middle or high school with access to social media and the things that come with all of that, the comparisons, blah, blah, blah. Like, I struggle with that as an almost 30-year-old woman. So it's I definitely feel a sense of responsibility in that way. In terms of golf, like, I don't know. It's kind of, it's part of my life. It's part of my identity forever. People will always say, and she was Miss America. My obituary will say, and she was Miss America. It's a part of me forever, but it's also something that happened 5 years ago and is over. And I'm just Kira now. It's opened incredible doors, but when it comes to golf, like, I think that at this point, people are judging me on my ability to be a broadcaster and that I love the game. And I think that's what matters most. I don't know if that answers your question.
Did you feel a responsibility? Like, I find this very interesting, and we talked to Steph Curry about it. Having a platform such as Miss America and playing the game, knowing that golf has a diversity issue. We always assume diversity means racism, like, instantly. It covers the gambit from inclusionary tactics from women and disabled individuals.
Yeah.
But when you're Miss America and you have the platform, as a golfer, did you ever just pause to say, like, hey, what can I do for golf? Or did you feel like you had some type of golf banner to wave? Because I know you've played in numerous pro-ams and celebrity events, and I just wanted to know kind of how does the growth get, or are you cognizant of being able to grow the game?
Very much so. I mean, I've played in some of these events that you mentioned. I played in like the AT&T or the American Century in Tahoe, and without a doubt, every single time when I play, a mom and her daughter will follow me because, like, mom and dad came.
That's awesome.
And they only see men, and they came with their daughter who they wanted to expose to golf. And there's a few women playing in the tournament. Let's go follow Kira because, I can look at this person and think, like, that could be me. And I enjoy children, so I end up interacting with them a lot, and I try and make golf cool and make golf this thing that is so awesome that we should do in our life. And not, none of us are probably going to be Michelle Lee or grow up to be professional golfers like that, because that is an entirely different special person. But to just infuse golf into your life and have it be something that can help you grow, help others grow. I mean, I think the skills that golf teaches you, as you guys know, are just, it's so special, such a special thing. It's such a special game. And I have no business doing like 99% of the things that I get to do. And the only reason I get to do them is because I play golf. So if I can get other people to understand this and also pick up the game, doesn't matter how good you are, just understand it a little bit, know when you're out of the hole and get out of there, then it will change your life irrevocably for the best.
You're talking about understanding the game and getting, how it infused into your everyday life. When I was researching you, I saw the how it came about. I didn't mind researching the Miss America pageant. Trust me. But when you were speaking on, I saw I guess maybe a interview that you did. Can you please talk about how did you get into the BMW? With the security guard and asking.
Like how this all happened.
Yeah, how it happened, because I thought it would be good for our listeners.
So this is great. So I win Miss America, and as I'm coming off stage, Rodney, the security guard for Miss America, he's been the security, run the security for years and years, still does. He also, one of his clients is the BMW ProAm on the Corn Ferry Tour in Greenville, South Carolina. And Rodney loves golf, loves that tournament, and grabs my arm. I literally just won 5 minutes ago. I'm like in the twilight zone. I have no idea what's happening. People are yelling at me. Grabs my arm and goes, Kira, congratulations. Do you play golf? And I grew up playing. I played very seriously as a junior. I learned the game with my dad, started at 3 years old. And I, in my stupor, said, yeah, I can play. And he goes, okay, great. We're going to get you into this event. It's a pro-am. It'll be great. And I haven't played in a while. And I was like, okay, like, sure. And then I get dragged off. I go to my press conference. Like, life begins as Miss America. And sure enough, a few months later, the BMW ProAm is on my schedule. And I was like, okay, like that's fine. Like, great, a golf tournament. Turns out it's on the Golf Channel that I will be playing with actual professional people that play this sport for a living. So I was like, you guys have to like make sure you build in some time to my schedule for me to go to a range somewhere and hit balls. So I think the Super Bowl was in Arizona that year, and around Super Bowl appearances, they had me going out to the range and like trying to find some clubs and all this stuff so I could get set up. By the time I got to South Carolina, like when we got to South Carolina, like I didn't have any golf clothes. So we went to like a Dick's Sporting Goods to try and find my golf style has very much evolved. I have very much access to clothing now, which is great.
That was my next question.
Yeah. But so it was the scariest, most like just good thing I went in there blind because I had no idea what it would actually entail. And then the Golf Channel was like breaking down my swing in slow motion, and my dad was freaking out. He was like, I bet you if they break down these broadcasters' swings, it won't be good. He was very defending me. But they interviewed me, and that's how this whole little Golf Channel thing started for me. So
I love that.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope.
Story.
But how I've talked to various tour players and women, that love the game of golf. There seems to be this like void of just swaggy clothes and opportunities to just look cool. How do you navigate this golf fashion space so that you can, have some swag out there?
Yeah, and that is very important to me. There are a couple of brands that I love. Foray Golf for women is one. Macklemore's Bogey Boys is one. And I love G-Force shoes. I love some Jay Lindbergh stuff. But some of my secrets to swaggy golf are to find non-golf clothes, like from where I would like Revolve or Nordstrom or wherever I would shop normally, and like a sick sweater that's got like really interesting patterns, or just like pants that make sense for like have pockets. Like,
that's like a thing, right?
For
like,
women.
Pants with pockets. Like
yeah, like pants that or where like maybe there's like a cool stripe down the side or something like that they're not golf clothes. They're just like clothes. And then taking that and applying that to my golf wardrobe. I will say that golf clothing over the past 5 years has gotten so much better. I think that people understand that there's this market for it, but it's quite niche and quite small still though. And golf manufacturers have to deal with, okay, who's my customer? Am I going to try and go for the, people that want affordable, more approachable prices and clothing, like that limits you design wise, fabric wise, what you can do? Or am I going to go for the premium customer who's then you're just limiting yourself to like the country clubs and people that can spend $250 on a polo, but then you've been able to infuse this like great design and this something from Italy and like good for you, but not a lot of people can't wear that. And then like the customer in the middle
clothing line people.
This
I think I'm hearing Kira saying that
no. This is all from Dixon conversations that I've had with friends that actually do this for a living, but it's fascinating. Megan Lamont is the CEO of Foray Golf, has very much explained this to me. And like the customer in the middle is like, who is she? It's hard to like pin who is the person in the middle. We don't know. It's just like some random thing. So it's very difficult. It's a lot more difficult, I think, than just like, obviously it makes sense. There should be all these great clothes, but it's a hard thing to do. But there are people much smarter and more qualified than I out there doing it. So
maybe that's the move, to make sure that women coming into the game got some dope stuff to wear so they don't look whack out there.
Exactly.
All start a Beyond the Fairway clothing line for women.
And having them feel more comfortable on the golf course, man, that's the key right there.
That's everything. That's huge. Just to feel comfortable. I cannot tell you, I still feel uncomfortable when I get onto the golf course. Very often, depending on where I am. But where am I standing? Can I use my phone? Am I being too loud? Am I allowed to be at this part of the driving range? Can I have this beverage in this area? And especially now with COVID, there's all these things. So it's a lot. So if you can at least handle the clothing, then you're good.
There's nothing more it's funny you mentioned being comfortable. There's nothing more satisfying to me when I go to a golf course and or maybe a private country club, and you can see that they really appreciate women being out there. You know,
Yeah.
you know, you go to some courses, women can't tee off before 12 or something crazy and asinine. So
Something sexist. Is what you're
some
saying.
sexist. So, you know, nothing more than I appreciate something like that. So that's kudos to you. I love it.
Yeah, I appreciate it as well.
So, Kira, as we prepare to wrap, I do want to ask, how the hell did you even get into the game? You started at 3, so pops or moms had to put the
My
club
dad,
into your
yeah.
hand. So how did you like meander through junior golf and high school, et cetera, et cetera?
So my parents are foreign. They're Russian immigrants, and they, for whatever reason, like contact sports for women aren't a big thing in Russia. I think there might be sexist undertones there. But so golf was like an appropriate sport for me to play. And for my foreign parents, it was like, you will play golf because it will get you these opportunities with businessmen one day. And, you know, it's this like classy American rite of passage. And for them, it was just, they thought it was this like American thing that I needed to do to be able to fit in, which is ironic because then as a high schooler, I was the only person that played golf that was a female that I knew, and then felt very left out and so stopped playing, which is, you know, that's kind of fell through the cracks of how girls stop playing golf. But yeah, that's how I got into it, because of my foreign parents wanting me to have a leg up in life.
So I just feel like you almost have to say thanks to a degree for them. Like, hey, like, I hate when parents are right. It pisses me off.
Right.
I know, it's the worst. It's the absolute worst. But unfortunately for me, they are correct.
I hate when parents are right when you're not even around. When they're not around. So, like, you know, when you're somewhere else and you're like, man, damn, they're right now. Like, you gotta be right now. So yeah.
It's a constant thing. It's a constant. I just try and ignore it as much as possible, but it's always popping up. And my whole career is a product of them being right.
Exactly.
All right, Kira, here it is. Our last question of the episode. We end every episode the same way. Right here, Beyond the Fairway podcast. Rap foursome. You got 4 rappers, dead or alive. So it's you and 4 other rappers. You're playing a 5-ball. They don't have to play the game. If they do, that's cool. But who are you showing up to the course with?
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Haven't been asked this before.
No. Okay.
Especially now the Kentucky Derby.
Wait, so I'm so excited about this. So I'll say E40 is my first one because
E40.
he's my Bay Area throwback.
Bay Area, I was gonna say.
Yeah, so he can come with me. yeah. I love some Jay-Z. I feel like Jay-Z definitely plays golf.
Yeah.
I feel like Jay-Z's got to play golf. Tupac would kill the golf game. Yeah, and oh my gosh. Wait, well, Macklemore counts as a rapper, right?
He does.
He's a rap. Yeah.
He's a rapper, right?
Best rap album. Like, yeah.
So Macklemore is like a rapper. So I think that would be fun, especially because he's in golf. He's like a golf thing.
He's like a rapper. Absolutely.
Like
No,
a rapper.
rap foursome right here. Kira K. Dixon. Kira, thank you so much. I know you've been traveling this morning. You rushed in, threw some things together. We appreciate you so much, especially our little sister now here on this NBC family of networks. So we wish you all the luck. You were always welcome here on Beyond the Fairway, but we appreciate it.
Thank you. And you guys are killing it. I love the show, and I'm just so honored that you asked me to do it. So thanks for having me.
Thank you so much.
Well, you know, it is Kentucky Derby week here. You know, first Saturday in May. Always Derby weekend, especially as, you know, I wish we would have talked to Michael Eaves about it, but we got Kira Dixon, as you heard before. Kira and I, we go way back. We actually met in 2015 at the Kentucky Derby, had a blast. And how often do, you know, you just be a regular dude getting to hang out with Miss America at the time. But super excited to see where she's taken her career, joined us. You know, I'm dubbing her our little sister here on Beyond the Fairway as well within the NBC family of programming. So I enjoyed our time with her, man.
I mean, she can be little sister to you. That's Miss America, bro. that ain't got nothing to do with no little sister over here. That's Miss America. So you can play that role there. You go be in neutral again, little sister. That's Miss America. I have to say, man, I enjoyed the conversation, given the fact that she was raising awareness through the hoodie. Talking about Damian Lee was wearing a hoodie, and a lot of pro athletes are starting to watch the LPGA golf in general. So kudos to her, and kudos to the Renee Powell Foundation, Renee Powell Clearview Foundation, for those guys getting proceeds, and I will keep my eye out for those guys.
Absolutely. And it just goes to show you, like, regardless of who you are, what you do, you have the opportunity to be a voice to grow the game of golf. I think we all have a responsibility to make sure that kids and disenfranchised groups can come into this game and feel welcome. I mean, that's why we go beyond the fairway with everybody. You know what I'm saying? So big shout out to Kira K. Dixon for coming in here. Catch her every week, post-round interviews on Golf Channel. She's right here, little sis. But Will, it's that time.
What time
Are you ready for it?
Hell yeah.
It's the Shank of the Week. Will.
This is the first time we agree on Shank of the Week. This
is a co-effort here. Shank of the Week.
Combo Shank of the Week right here.
Combo Shank of the Week, brought to you by Beyond the Fairway.
I'll let you go ahead and take it.
You do it. No, you do it. Are you gonna do it? I'll do it.
Yeah, you do it. All right.
Shank of the Week.
No.
Coming at you live and direct right here, Beyond the Fairway podcast, going to the PGA Tour, specifically this picture-in-picture program, all right? This player impact program. I don't even know what it's called yet. I don't even want to know what it's called because I don't even like what they're doing. The PGA Tour announces they're going to give $40 million to the top 10 players that raise the brand awareness in a positive light in their social and digital footprint. What the hell are you doing, PGA Tour? I know it's not your job to grow the game. You leave it up to other ABC organizations in golf. But what I don't understand is, why do you want to give people with money more money so that they can post positive stuff? Are you having a branding issue? Do you need more stuff to be posted? I don't understand it, Will. I'm going to let you take it. But I don't understand what the hell this is supposed to do.
You're missing it, bro. The reason is...
You tell me. I don't understand.
I'm going to tell you what... This is my opinion.
Somebody
dry snitching, and somebody over on the PGA Tour caught wind of what could happen. I don't know if you heard about that, that PGL, the Premier Golf League.
The Premier Golf League, yeah.
Man, I think somebody said, hey, if the Premier Golf League's not up and running, there could be something like it in the near future. That
Premier would be a competing organization against the PGA Tour is what you're saying.
Exactly, because if you ever pay attention to that PGL model, it was $240 million over 18 events. That's crazy.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. And so I think, the PGA Tour tried to do something as far as,
something to mitigate.
Something to mitigate.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking like, did you see how they are determining the matrix in which the guys can be considered of winning?
Man, I read it, but it's so vague to me. Explain it if you got it.
So they have several different matrix to be considered a winner. It was a rumor that it was how you position yourself at the season ending FedEx Cup points race, but the PGA Tour said, no, that's a no-go. That doesn't matter. That doesn't take
You can't mess up my
it.
FedEx money. That's probably what they said.
Pretty much. So it was popularity in Google search. It was Nielsen brand exposure rating, Q rating, MVP index, and meltwater mentions.
Meltwater? I don't even know no meltwaters.
Well, I do. I used to date this girl. Her father's name was Meltwater. But
okay, maybe.
But the thing about it is, these are the factors. So I think it's so much to the point where I think they're missing the target here. If it's gonna be popularity, let's be popularity with a cause. Okay, I was thinking, what if they put the money behind maybe that Payne Stewart Award somehow, right?
Something.
Something. It's something. I just think it's they're missing the mark here, and I'm kind of frustrated because it's only targeting 6 or 7 guys.
Well, but in 2019, okay, if we saw a little like simulation, right? It basically went off of 2019 numbers to kind of create this. Just let's listen to the people that would have gotten some of this 40 mil. Tiger Woods, Roy McIlroy, Brooks Koepka, Phil Mickelson, Jordan Spieth, Ricky Fowler, Justin Thomas, Justin Rose, Adam Scott would have all been recipients of some of this 40 million. Now, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but giving Tiger, Rory, Brooks, Phil, the rest, more money doesn't seem like they need it. Like,
so what would you do? Hold on, Doug. What would you do? Would you give to people who are lower on the money list or who are less popular?
Yeah, like Kelly Craft could use some of this $40 million. Let's see if
Kelly Craft?
Where's Kelly Craft? Anabon Lahiri. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Not
like,
Charlie Belgian. You think Charlie Belgian can benefit from this?
Look, Appy Barn Rat out there vaping and you know what I'm saying? Like, got a J collection and a Force collection that's crazy. Like, I would like to see them cats get some of this money. Don't give no more money to Tiger Woods. Tiger got more money than the tour.
Hold on, Dougie. Hold on. Now, one could argue that you give money to those guys. No offense to them when I say those. But the other can argue those guys aren't competing week in, week out for $1.5 million without those needle movers. I mean, you got to think. You think Brandon Grace would have won $540,000 at the Puerto Rico Open if it wasn't for the needle movers playing at an off-field event at the WGC match play?
Let me say this.
Excuse me. It was WGC Workday. Excuse me. So there's no way in the world that you can move without the needle movers. So
let me say this. Like I think the needle has moved. I agree with you. But like after the needle moves, it's kind of stationary. Like, so yeah, Tiger's made his money from moving the needle. Rory, Brooks, they made their money. Why do they need more money to do what they gonna do anyway in post golf shit? That's all I'm saying. I think it's a chance for the Kelly Crafts and the Charlie Belgian and the good names you mentioned. We want to know what you think about this PIP, man. This player impact performance program. I don't even know. I don't care. I'm just upset with the PGA Tour that found $40 million and now we just gonna give it out. So look, odds are you're gonna see a lot swaggier posts from Kevin Kisner, which he's already posted some kind of dope stuff lately. I'm not even gonna stunt. Kevin Kisner he has some dope footage. Look, little Roger Steele. Not gonna say nothing.
That Billy Horschel missed the mark.
Yeah,
with the Outcast. I was.
Yeah, that was whack, Billy. We're not gonna give you Shank of the Week again, but
yeah, that was Shank-ish.
You get honorable mention for some Shank-ishness. All right, Will. That is the Shank of the Week this week. Beyond the Fairway podcast right here, Golf Channel, NBC Sports. PGA Tour, you gotta do better with this $40 million. Give it to me. Give it to Will. We could use some of that. We can help you.
Yeah, we can at least help you distribute it to the popular people somehow.
That's it. That's all I'm saying. We appreciate y'all so much for going beyond the fairway right here. Kira K. Dixon joining Will and myself. Golf Channel NBC. Hey, you know what to do. Follow, listen, subscribe, share this. I know somebody wants to hear what Will and I have to say. Go ahead and push that little share button on your phone. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere where you get your podcast, that's where we are. We appreciate you rocking with us, and next week we'll be back. We got a good guest next week too. So stay right here, Beyond the Fairway.
Man, I'm about to go get my Meltwater mentions up right now.